Hello and welcome to Lathe to the Grave's first ever YouTube video. Wow, what's it going to be? I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be a list, because if YouTube has taught us anything about success, it's you just need to have the same things in a list. So that is exactly what we're doing it. What we're doing it and why we're doing it. And why are we doing it today? Well,
we are doing our Super 7 gigs from the year. Super 7s, because we make vinyl records. I mean, they come in 7s, that's what we like. So the gigs we're going to go through is everything we've seen in the last 12 months. Obviously not everything we've seen in the last 12 months, because we've seen a lot of gigs. These are our top 7 with a few honourable mentions. So number 7 in our list is Professor Elemental at Bar 42 in Worthing. I can't remember when it was.
it was sunny.
It was sunny. It was in the summer.
I would say somewhere between May and July.
It was a fantastic gig. I've never seen Bar 42 completely sold out, and it was packed to the rafters, and everyone adored Chap Hop. So it was a great gig. It was really fun. We like getting drunk.
In at number 6 is Charger. We saw Charger in autumn. They played the Electric Ballroom with Raging Speedhorn, Crowbar and Scourge. It was a brilliant night. They played nothing new. They played all their old stuff off of the album with the clouds on the front, and it was brilliant. I got a Charger t-shirt that said "Volume over Talent," which is something I've always lived by.
You got 2 Charger t-shirts?
I got 2 of the same Charger t-shirts because they didn't have a men's small.
They didn't have a men's small, so we got a ladies t-shirt.
We got a Husky ladies t-shirt and a men's medium, just to see how much I've been eating.
Number 5. Another one for Bar 42. We spend a lot of our time there. We go to way too many gigs there. We don't even come from Worthing. We travel to Worthing on the trains that don't run late into the night, purely so we can see gigs in Worthing. Noisferatu, they had an album launch last month before,
yes.
November time. All I can say is, all hail the radish. Why would you not? No, I hope 2019 is super good for Noisferatu. They go from strength to strength. I love their stuff.
They're also in a Mix Mag issue. Knock at the door number 4 is JpegMafia. We saw JpegMafia in the Scarlet in London. That's in England. We saw him, it was about a month ago. It was the 3rd or 2nd of November we saw him, and it was brilliant. I have never seen a crowd go so mad for hip hop, and there was full on mosh pits.
I feel like I should chime in.
You should chime in.
There was a "fuck you Morrissey" chant. What else could you want from a fucking gig? At the end of the day, like that's what I wanted. It was an amazing gig. It was wild as fuck. And an entire room of people chanted "fuck you Morrissey." We saw Henge back in February. They were a really good gig, really good visual show. Seen them with Alternate previously, Bangface Weekender, other Bangface installments. Just an overall great gig.
In at number 2 is Aïsha Devi. We saw her at the Barbican in a month or 2 ago. And she was amazing. She had some performance art dancers, the Asian Dope Boys, and they were just painted all sorts of colours. One of them looked like Darth Helmet from Spaceballs if his helmet was a disco ball. It was amazing.
So before we get to number 1, we've got some honourable mentions. These are gigs that we've seen across the year that didn't quite make the Super 7, but we think deserve a bit of a mention because they are amazing performance art gigs, bit of theatre, let's be honest. So the first of our honourable mentions is Highlights of Our Modern World. He released his album a couple of weeks ago on a night at Lord John Russell, as it's now referred to. It came on cassette, which is amazing, with a beautiful picture book. Have a look at that. Which reminds me of 70s South Coast Riviera. It's beautiful. The sounds on the disc are just brilliant. I say disc, cassette. It just sounds wonderful. I really enjoy it. I like everything highlights of a Modern World does. But that gig was amazing. It was underappreciated in that pub on a Friday night. There were too many loud people, but it was an amazing gig nonetheless.
Our final honourable mention is going to be a sort of double whammy, mainly because we see a lot of things live. It's not always music, and this one goes to both a sporting event and a theatre.
The sporting event is equally theatre, though.
It's wrestling. It's Kapow Wrestling. We saw it in the Hobbit pub in Southampton. It was a very sunny day. I got rather sunburnt. Alongside this theatre performance, we also have the League of Gentlemen. The League of Gentlemen did live again, or live again, depending on how you want to interpret that. It was amazing. I've loved the League of Gentlemen since I was a child of a teenage.
So a teenager?
A teenager. Some might say a teenager. And do you want to say a little bit about your League of Gentlemen history and experience?
My experience, I bought tickets to see them 3 times on their Live Again tour. I almost bankrupt myself trying to see them. We saw them in Portsmouth. We also saw them in Birmingham in a massive arena. And then we saw them again in Bournemouth. And every performance was outstanding. I'm in love with all of them.
Equally.
It was just...
Read slightly more.
But it was really good to see, and because we saw them at 3 different points throughout their tour. We saw them, I think, the 2nd or 3rd night of their tour, and then we saw them on one of the penultimate nights of their tour before they went back up to London. And we saw how the stage show had progressed over the course of that tour. There was way more corpsing throughout it. And yeah, just League of Gentlemen is close to our hearts. I bought the vinyl gift pack, the limited edition numbered one.
This is the point where we should show that we've got this.
Number 376. It's not in the office, it's at home, still in cling film wrap, untouched, because I'm not allowed to touch it, allegedly. I would love to open it, but other people have deterred me. I will put a picture here of my beautiful vinyl. We'll see how his Photoshop skills are. But that is our final honourable mention. On to number 1.
In a number 1 is possibly my favourite band I have found since becoming an adult, and therefore being allowed to choose my own music and not just listen to what my friends tell me is good. This band I've seen every time they've come to the country. I've seen them at least once on their tour. I've met them several times. I stumbled across the guitarist and the bassist and members of their choir in a local pub in Birmingham after seeing them at a gig earlier that night, about 3 hours beforehand, and they were lovely. They sat down and talked to us about, talky stuff to everyone, not just, oh, you're a great band, I'm going to gush. And this gig is extra special to me because it was on my birthday this year. It was in August the 7th in London, in Oslo. It's Oxbow. They were amazing. They played my favourite song as an encore, and after they went off stage, we met Eugene, the lead singer, who is the nicest person I've ever met. He gave me a big cuddle and said, happy birthday. And I don't know what else to say. Performance-wise, they're amazing. Songwriting is amazing. And now I'm the fanboy that's gushing that I warned you about earlier. Tasha, what would you like to say?
Oxbow, I was only introduced to as music, given one of their albums 5-6 years ago. So I'm quite late to the party. They've been around for over a decade now. Well over a decade.
I think 89 was their first album release.
Their first album release was the day that I was released from my mother's vagina.
Well, probably not the same day, but the same year.
The Oxbow's first album release was the year that I was born, so I was a little bit late to the party, only listened to their music over the last 5 or 6 years. But it's always heartfelt, it's always raw, and their performances are absolutely amazing. It's just, it hits home every time we see them, and that's why we see them as many times as possible every time they come over. So, closing statements.
Closing statements. Here's our closing statements. Before, we're not sure if we introduced ourselves, but I am Adam. I am the head of human resources at Lathe to the Grave. And this?
I'm Tasha. I'm the only employee at Lathe to the Grave, therefore the only person managed by head of human resources. Yeah,